Okay, welcome to episode 12, Three and a Half Asian Men. How are you guys doing today? I'm gonna answer my own question. I'm doing pretty well. I was working out in this heat today. I realized that I never get to introduce myself to the viewers. So I just want to say hi to everyone and did some gardening work today. It was a lot of fun. But yeah, the rest of the boys, how are you guys doing? And we're gonna start with Tariq today. How you doing, man?
No love for
I'm pretty
Chan.
good. Yeah, Chan never goes first.
Chan never goes first, man.
I prefer to go last, but it doesn't
No,
matter.
I went first today, actually. I went first today, so.
Okay, so I went second, which is the
There you
worst
go.
place to be. So anyway, as Awang already said, my name is Tariq, aka Super Saiyan Rose.
I almost thought
I'm
we were
pretty-
not going to get a nickname from him today, and I was going to be like, thank God.
You know what? Honestly, I don't think that's ever gonna happen. But yeah, it's
Bro,
Tariq.
dude, I never run out of nicknames, bro. I'm an
Silly.
endless stream. I'm a river, dude. But anyway, I was gonna say that I like your shirt. I like the color, Awang. I think it looks good.
Thanks, man.
I used to have something similar, and I threw it out because it got a little musty. So
Thank you, Tariq. All right, moving on to Tim. How you doing?
I'm doing good. It's been a long day today. It was a good day.
Good.
That's all I got to say, really. I met with Chan. We had a fun time.
wait, you guys met up?
Yeah,
Yeah,
Oh, that's-
What did you guys do?
we just drove
had bubble
around,
tea.
got ice cream, got bubble tea. Nope.
It's a nice date.
yeah, Chan.
All right, and finally, last but definitely not least, Chan. How are you doing today?
Yeah, I'm doing alright. Yeah, I was supposed to take a nap, but I ended up cleaning instead. So, yeah, I'm here, doing fine.
Interesting. All right, so to our viewers, our gameplay today is basically, honestly, there wasn't a gameplay to begin with.
Yo, BYOT.
So today,
BYOT.
It's BYOT, which means bring your own topic. And so I guess for today's episode, we're gonna go with each person kind of leading, their own respective conversations for the rest of us. And with that being said, this is actually Tariq's idea, so kudos to Tariq for that. And I'm gonna give the floor to Tariq first, since
That's a
I
big
think since I think he came in the most ready, and also the fact that he came up with this idea for us. Set the tone for us, Tariq. Here's the floor, and take it away, buddy.
All right, so how's everybody doing? I already introduced myself. Thank you, Awang, for giving me the floor. But anyway, I came up with this idea of bring your own topic because I watched a couple panel type shows.
So you
This
didn't.
is kind of what
so
we
you
do
didn't
here.
come up with it. You stole it.
I stole it, yes. I got the cookie, bro. Biscottis out here. So I got the biscottis. So then it's from the show called Open Court. Great show. NBA TV, if you're ever watching this, please put out the episodes on some sort of platform. I beg you. It's the greatest show of all time. But yeah, so I did bring your own topics. So everybody has their own thing. Hopefully, people were saying they kind of have topics. They have topics, multiple parts. And anything is good here because, it is what, just got to lead the conversation. You know what I mean? So I think I might as well just get into my own topic to start us off. So my own topic might be a little hard to, my question might be a little hard to understand just as a question, but hopefully my example will shed some light on it. So my question is, can you name one accomplishment that's shown a lot of personal growth in your life that may not necessarily seem like that to a person from the outside? So basically just a big accomplishment in your life. And I don't want you to give the basic, like, oh, I graduated high school or something like that, or even like, oh, I got into college. Because, to somebody on the outside, like, oh, okay, yeah, that's impressive, right? Everybody knows that's a big accomplishment. But for something in terms of personal growth that people might not necessarily think like, oh, that's not really a big deal, but then hopefully you can explain why it's a big deal to you. So I guess I might as well just start with my own topic first, or my own answer, my own response, I should say. So I have to rewind you back to 7th grade. So I was in 7th grade, and this is when I was still like new to basketball, right? Still picking it up a little bit. So, I always go to the courts, right? You guys know me. I mentioned the courts on a couple of these episodes, but I'm always at the courts. Right?
Tariq is like that. Tariq is like that old head.
Bro.
Tariq is like that old head at the courts that tells the youngins what to do and like bank every shot that they take. But yeah, please keep going.
So this is when I was one of the youngins, right? So
Okay.
I was in 7th grade, and I remember it was a really cold day, dude. Like I get cold really easy, but at the courts, I'm fine any temperature. So I remember it was a really cold day. It was in the fall, and I remember I was just shooting around on a hoop by myself, and some kid comes up to me. He's like, "Yo, do you want to play one-on-one?" I'm like, "Okay." You know, this kid is clearly older than me, right? And I looked at his chest. First of all, it was like 30 degrees outside, but this guy was wearing a tank top. So I was like, all right, this guy's crazy. And then I was looking at his shirt, and it said Dwight Englewood, right? And we played. So, and we were playing. Before we were playing, I asked him, like, "Oh, so you go to Dwight?" He's like, "Yeah, I'm the captain of the basketball team." I was like, okay. So then I played him. And, I was still new at basketball. So he destroyed me. And he was like that Patrick Beverly type. Couldn't dribble. I couldn't shoot. I couldn't do anything. I was weak.
Defense.
I can't move. Like he really shut me down. So, and he wasn't, I wouldn't say he was like amazing for being the captain of the basketball team, but like, he wasn't bad. So then he just dismantled me, and he was taking like long jump shots. But the one thing I remember from this guy is he had this janky sort of shot. It was like elbows out, like 2 steps to his shot. So then I was like, this guy's clearly his offense sucks, but he still destroyed me. He's a defensive player, right? So I remember when my parents picked me up. I don't remember if it was my mom or dad, but I was in that car, and I was like, dude, I really suck, bro. Like I was really bad, and because I think Ewang mentioned this on a previous podcast during our sports episode. I remember you said like once you had like 4 turnovers in a minute or something like that, and you just felt useless, right? So I went home. I was like, damn, I'm useless right now. I can't contribute anything. So then I went home. I was like, this is the day I'm going to become a better one-on-one player. So, you guys know me. I'm a one-on-one player, maybe too much as a fault, right? Tim can attest to this because I've, the one-on-one record. And Chan knows I've beat him by like 85 points before. But Ewang knows Ewang kills me. So
no, Tarek is a very good one-on-one player. He knows what he's doing. Anyways, keep going.
So then, now fast forward 7 years to this past summer
Yes.
at the courts, right? So I'm playing, and it's me, nobody else there, dude. Like the other 3 courts are empty, right? So I'm just shooting, and then this guy pulls up. He pulls up, and he takes out his basketball and he takes 2 layups on the other end, right? And he turns to me and he's like, "Yo, do you want to play one-on-one?" I was like, "Okay." This guy he didn't even warm up, right? So I was like, "Okay, let me see this guy." So we play a game, right? And I kill him. Like I killed him, right? Like it wasn't even close, right? But then he was shooting this jump shot, and it was really janky, right? And it was like elbows out, like two steps to a shot. And I was like, okay, maybe it's the same guy, right? Maybe. So then we played another game. I killed him again, right?
Too good to be true.
So I killed him again, right? So then I was like, so then we were chatting. He was like, "Hey, you're pretty good, man." I was like, "Thank you." Like, so I'm pretty good with faces, especially at basketball court. Dude, I see you once, I'll remember who you are. So I was like, dude, so how old are you now? He's like, "Oh, I just graduated from NYU in the spring." And I was like, okay. So did you go to Dwight Englewood High School? And he was like,
he's older than us.
"Yeah, I did." And I was like, "You're captain of the basketball team, right?" And he was like, "Yeah, but like, I didn't get along with the coach, so I didn't play my senior year." I was like, "Oh, okay." I was like, all right. So then I was tired, but then for that third game, I was like, okay, I could beat you 3 times. I've eclipsed you, right? So we play a third time. I killed him again, right? We were like, "You a defensive player, bro?" Like, dude, I made him look like a mushroom. Man was a mushroom on the court. I was like Mario. He was like Toad. You know what I'm saying? So I was barbecuing this kid. So then afterwards, I talked to him. I was like, "I played you once 7 years ago, and you were the person that inspired me to become a one-on-one player." And I was like, "Oh, okay." So I was like, "Thank you for beating me so that I could beat you 7 years later." So that was a huge sign of growth for myself, because it's almost like a Cinderella story. I've only played him twice. I haven't seen him any other time at the courts, and I'm always there. So I played him once, who inspired me, and I beat him again to like complete my arc as a basketball player. So once I beat him, I was like, you know what? This is really nice. I was really proud of myself after that game, because I made huge strides in something that I value very much in my life.
7 years in the coming too. That's pretty
intense.
intense.
ESPN to document it.
Yeah, that'd been an interesting documentary. The life of Tar.
Yeah, I played 1 year of high school basketball. They're gonna do a ESPN 60 on me.
No,
Anyway,
but like your work comes in your driveway. I know that we all know that. Your
yeah.
shots, your pull up shots.
But anyway, that was like, because to somebody else it's like, dude, you played the same guy twice. Like, who cares, right? But I think the growth for me as a person, I just thought about like me in 7th grade versus me now. I was like, I think that's a
Mm.
huge difference. So that's something that I really take to heart, and I thank that guy for beating me, and then I thank him for me beating him. So I don't even know his name, dude, but like I know what he looks
don't
like,
even know
and I
his
know how he.
name, bro.
I don't care about his name. I was like, you're my target, and 7 years later, I got you. So all right. And does anybody else have a story about personal growth?
I
And
think
any,
I have.
Wait, before we get there, just to play devil's advocate, what if like
Mhm.
you just like regressed down to your level, and you just got a little bit better?
That's entirely possible, but
The whole point is that he progressed over time. I think that's the
yeah,
moral of the story. That he
because
saw himself.
I think offensively you can regress big time, but defensively, as long as you stay in shape, from 1950s basketball to now, it's the same defensive principle. So he's supposed to be a defender, and I fried him, dude. I took him to KFC. I was getting buckets, bro. You know what I'm saying? So I was like,
That
okay,
was kind of smart. Okay, I like that. I like that.
I'm always smart. Thank you.
You gave buckets. Okay, I like that.
But yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, like that's what I'm saying. So if he was an offensive guy and he was just killing me on offense, then I might agree with that. But
Mm.
he was a defensive guy, and he was one of those annoying defensive guys, like Avery Bradley, like plays defense with his face. So and he's always getting in there.
Trying to
I
kiss the
was,
homies goodnight.
yeah, trying to kiss me. That's trying to kiss my balls. But anyway,
I think I have a story like kind of similar to Tarek. I don't know if Tim could say the same, but like the first time I tried out for travel, um, basketball specifically, I think that was not like a big moment, but I just think it helped me like it instilled in me a lot of like self confidence and knowing that I could, be part of a group and keep up. And I think it just I don't know, it just instilled a lot of good values that I still hold today. And it was specifically basketball too, because that was like a sport I picked up later than I did soccer. So I think something with like I'm not trying to make this a sports like podcast like episode, but
right,
like
right.
but like I just think there's something that comes with like playing a team sport and like knowing that the guys around you are so much better than you and just like working to a point in which you could say that you could keep up. And I don't know that I feel like that teaches you a lot. I don't know if Tim could say the same because Tim and I basically went in together for travel basketball under town. But I just think there's something about, like I said, like a team sport, being part of a team, understanding that like the collective is very important, and you have to get better individually, but always get back to the team as well. So I don't know that I think that for me was kind of big in my
Just
self confidence.
just this one tryout really just helped you get to that point. Is what you're
I
saying.
think I think once I got on the team, like okay, I actually could split this into two parts. That's like my social like whatever my sports thing, but in school, do you guys remember Spark in high school?
Yes.
Yeah, I think when I got into Spark too, that really helped me like meet like a lot of new people and I do a lot of things I did in high school now in college. So I think
Mhm.
that also like helped me with my growth and made me figure out that like I like connecting with people and I
Okay.
like making like meaningful connections with people and I still keep like that's still very true till this day. So I think those two things I don't know helped me in my growth. So
6 footers, you got anything?
Jen, you want to go first?
You want to go first, or okay, I'll go
No.
first, I guess. Yeah, yeah. So I didn't do a team sport, so I feel like my achievements were more like I just worked for it in terms of sports. But
Please don't talk about sports.
yeah, I'm not gonna talk about sports. Actually, for me, shuffling cards is actually one of like my big
Ooh.
achievements that I don't think people. Well, I don't expect anybody to value. Because shuffling cards, like you just shuffle it, right? But actually, the reason why I like started shuffling cards is because I actually hurt my
Really?
wrist really badly when I was younger, like to the point where I had to like go to like physical therapy and stuff like that. So yeah,
Wait,
like
Chan, can I interrupt you? Is this when you fell out of the second floor?
no, that was way younger.
Oh,
That
okay,
was
never
way
mind.
younger. Yeah,
Okay,
that's
alright.
that's a story for another time. But
Okay.
yeah. So similarly, I kind of I fell because somebody shoved me, right, and I hurt my wrist really badly because of it. So I went to rehab for about a year, I think, so that like I could do stuff. But yeah, so like during that time, something that I had to do in order to like for rehab purposes is to shuffle a deck of cards, right? And I couldn't shuffle a deck of cards because like my wrist was like all messed up for maybe like I feel like 4 or 5 months. Right. So when I finally like shuffled the deck of cards, it was like, damn, like I'm getting back into whatever
You
I
got over
enjoy.
the hump.
Exactly. So like I said, it's like finally like because you know after when you do rehab, if you guys ever do it, hopefully not, it kind of seems like like hopeless until you make it to that certain point. And for me, that
Mhm.
certain point was like being able to shuffle a deck of cards. And then I moved on to like being able to use chopsticks, for example.
Oh,
Um,
okay.
yeah. So like for a while, I used chopsticks with my left hand. So like still to this day, I can sort of use it with my left hand, like
Interesting.
stuff like that. Yeah, shuffling a deck of cards.
That's pretty cool. You know, I never, if since nobody's gonna know Chan outside of the podcast, dude, this guy always carries a deck of cards. When he's not carrying a deck
Yeah.
of cards, he's not carrying anything on him.
So that made a lot of
Yeah.
sense. I never thought of it like yeah until you told us. Yeah, it's interesting.
Yeah. Also, here's a tip for all the people out there: never play cards with Chan because he's gonna cheat you out of your money. So
Bro,
Yeah,
I
he's
don't.
gonna he's gonna he's gonna memorize every card that goes down. He's
yeah,
gonna
don't
count.
play with him.
Yeah.
Dude, like, dude, I'm never gonna play poker because the only person I learned
hustler.
poker from is Chan, and Chan would just teach me the game so that he would win every time, so he could take all my. So
That's
that's
something he
why. I
would
know.
do. That's something he would do.
I would definitely do it.
All right, Timbo Slice, you got something?
It's really interesting to hear you guys pick out moments early on in your lives.
Lives.
Because I think for me, I think something that's not like too big, but something that I'm like sort of proud of, I guess, is this past school year, right? It's the first time I pulled an all-nighter. And let me tell you, like, this was a project, it's like a coding project, right? And
I think you told me about this. Yeah.
maybe like I procrastinated a little bit too much on it. But anyways, this project was due the next day, and I'm just here coding, right? And I put it into the auto grader, so we get like, I forgot how many submits. I think it's like 2 submits per day, maybe 3.
Oof.
But it's basically like you put in your code, it tells you, oh, like, either your code runs at a specific time, like your code meets the requirements of it runs in a specific time or within a specific time, and it takes up less than a certain amount of data, right, in the computer. And I remember, and first grade, I submitted, and I was like, first grade, I got 8%. I'm like, all right, I guess I gotta work on this tonight. But yeah, I think. Anyways, fast forward, I progressed from 8 to like 25% to like 53, and then I got a 96, and I was like, thank God I can sleep now.
I remember. I remember this story. You told me about this.
Is this for Comp Arc?
Huh?
Is this Comp Arc? For what class was
No,
this?
no. It was data structures and algorithms. Shout out ET281.
Okay. You had to do. It had to run in a certain amount of time, and it had to be a certain
Efficient
amount of.
data. Yeah.
Yeah, because basically it's basically you have to pick the right data structure and the right algorithm, you know.
Oh, okay. We didn't have to worry about that.
But
Okay, that sounds way more difficult.
Efficiency.
but
is
yeah,
key.
Efficiency is king.
and I think this is the point where I really, or this was a class rather, where I really questioned if comp sci was for me. I think it made me really question, like, yeah, I really enjoyed my intro class for CS, which made me end up following this, major. But while when I got to the stuff that's like actually legit, right? Or legit. Um, I was like, oh, can I really do this? Can I really hang with other people, or can I? Because like I see the people around in my class, and they seem pretty smart, being able to do this pretty well. You go on Piazza, and everyone like 80% of the kids figure it out, and then of course there's like the 5% of people who like started on the last day. Um, but yeah, I think two reasons I think that got me through. I guess I think I was proud that I was able to continually like push through and press on. Like I don't think that I kept coding from like 10 to 3 in the morning straight, and then I took a break, and then I went from 5 to almost around 10 a.m. straight, almost straight, but
Mm.
not really. Um,
Oh,
but yeah, I think that helped me, or maybe not helped me realize that like CS is for me per se, but like I think um, it gave me like a sense of confidence that I can do it, like if I put my mind to it. And um, I think another thing I realized was um, I think this is also a point in time where I feel like spiritually, in terms of my faith, I was not doing so hot per se. So I think um, that night actually, I went to something that my church has that's called like evening chapel, which is like just an hour where it's like an hour of open church time basically. Um,
mm,
and then the next morning I went to like morning prayer. But I think I think being able to rely on God during that time and really just continue to push through is something I'm proud of. Yeah.
That's cool. That's interesting because I feel like people won't say, "Yo, an all-nighter is a great sign of personal growth." I feel like a lot of people say all-nighter is a time of when I need to change my habits. But I think it's interesting to hear a different type of take on an all-nighter. But anyway, I
I,
think everybody answered my question. I like the answers I got, so so I can pass the ball now, right?
yeah,
Yeah,
I
you
was gonna
can
say that.
talk to
Sorry,
us
go
about
ahead,
it
pass the ball.
I'm passing it
for the
to
first
Chen.
time. Oh,
Oh my.
CYP,
Yeah.
baby.
Yeah,
I'll
so I
never
guess
pull an all-nighter again, by the way.
Wait,
Not a
Tim,
chance.
did you say that was the first time I passed the ball?
Yeah, first time in pro.
wait, that's probably the first time you passed the ball to me.
Okay, hold on. I gotta tell this other story about the quotes. This was this past
Just
summer
save
too.
it, bro. I'm about to cut you
Save
off, bro.
it. Save it, bro. Come on.
All right,
Come
all
on.
right.
Okay.
You already
Okay.
passed the CYP. He's not passing it back. Come on.
Okay, okay.
Yeah.
I
Okay.
gotta steal the ball back.
Oh,
For your
no.
own teammate. Yeah.
I've done that with many people.
You've done that
so-
before. That's the funny part.
All
Anyway,
right. CYP. Go ahead.
so the question that I was gonna ask was, what is one thing that you hated, but looking back, it was very necessary to you, like whether that be for growth or like for one of your like achievements.
So what's that for you, Chen?
What was that for you? Yeah.
I swear I had this in mind, but I'm kind of blanking out.
Diet?
No,
Jeez,
bro, I
man.
never, bro.
Stop it.
If I successfully diet now,
Get this man
then it
outta
might
here.
be it. But yeah, I never had to diet in my life, my guy. Like that was never an issue.
Okay.
I think one thing that I really hated, but looking back, was necessary was discrete too. Um, bro, like that class, like oh my goodness, like so it's like a top level math class that we could take our sophomore year in high school, right? So I took it. And bro, like I got smacked so hard. Like I looked forward to Wednesday every week because it's the one day I did not have to show up to discrete because math was only 4 times a week back then. Like I woke up on Wednesday feeling like better. Like I woke up instinctively better because it would be a Wednesday and I wouldn't done discrete that day. Like that's how much I hated the class. Like that class made me question like because if I think about it, right, like all throughout my like middle school and high school, if I had to choose one thing like subject wise or like school wise that I was actually good at, it would be math, right? Like I wasn't good at English. I wasn't good at like I was okay at science, but like everybody's okay at science. Um, and then English, yeah, I said it. Oh, I was complete trash at English. So I'm just sitting there going like math, and wow, like that class really smacked me. Like 25s on quizzes, like 25s on tests. Like to put it into perspective, the man said like at the beginning of the year, don't worry about your grades. Everybody gets at least a B in this class, right? And if you don't get a B, like he was like, don't even worry about it. Nobody gets under a B in this class. I haven't seen that in the last like 6 years. I got the first B minus in 6 years, like as my final grade. So he bumped it up to a B, right? That's how trash I did in that class. Like he literally dropped 3 tests at the end of the trimester before we.
For you or for everybody?
No, for everybody, right? For everybody.
Okay.
That was
That's
meant as a
tough.
grade booster. Like we had group exams, and I had people carrying me, and I still could not get a B in that class. Like that's how bad it was.
That's tough.
Yeah, but looking back, like now I took the college version of that class, right? And like the things that we learned and in that style, like a proof-based kind of thing, right? And I realized that like the only reason why I can enjoy math nowadays and the only reason why I can like keep up with these classes is because I went through that class and just got wrecked and I try my best to learn from it. So
Okay.
yeah, um, that's probably my thing that I hated the most, but it was definitely the best.
Are you gonna call somebody, like a teacher,
I
or are you
mean,
just gonna let us talk?
yeah, any of you guys can talk. I mean, that's how we've been doing. So
You guys have anything, or
I'm
right
ready to
now?
go.
Okay, go Tim, because you went
Okay.
last time.
All right. One thing that I hated but found it necessary,
Hmm, looking back,
looking back. Um. Okay.
Wait.
What?
Okay. No, I was gonna say I thought you had it on deck.
No, no,
So
no.
then
Like
I was like,
I had an idea already. I just wanted to make sure it like fit the topic. Fit the question at
okay,
hand.
phrase it better or something. Like
Yeah.
that.
So, I think this was 7th grade, 6th grade. I don't remember exactly. It was either 6th or 7th grade. Um, and I was playing baseball, right? And at the time, I was in a like hitting slump. So basically, you know, just struggling to get on base, struggling to
Yeah.
hit
The
the
ball.
ball. Exactly.
Literally.
And honestly, I was so upset, like so upset that I was like, one weekend, I was like, okay, the next game, like I'm going to like get a hit, right?
Oh,
So
disclaimer for everyone. Tim was very into baseball during middle school. I remember like you did like club and things like
yeah,
that, and just like yeah. So
um, so basically, I was like, all right, Dad, let's go to the batting cages. We went to the batting cages. I think I was there for like 3 hours, just hitting
dang,
and using the
shocking.
machines. And
Tim's a
the next
lefty.
game,
Oh,
here we are. The next game, first the bat ground out to first base. I was like, okay, at least I made contact. Better luck next at bat. Next at bat, strike out, looking, right?
Ooh, you don't want to check out
And I was
looking.
like, okay, I mean, I guess you can.
what's strikeout looking?
That means like
Uh,
you don't
you
swing, but
literally
you strike
you don't
out
see
because
him.
it was a called strike by the
But when you
ump.
have 2 strikes on you, you have to swing basically anything near the strike zone.
Yeah.
You just gotta keep the
So
at bat going. Anyways, yeah.
so I was like, right, it's not the greatest feeling. At bat number 3, we strike out swinging,
Dang.
and I'm just like, wow, it's just not my day.
Just
At
trying
bat,
to kill a fly.
and the thing is, like, this game was like pretty close. Like it was going on. Like at bat number 4, I struck out again.
Dang.
But let me tell you, at bat number 5. Oh,
You have 5 at bats in
yeah,
a middle.
like the it was pretty high scoring. That's why.
Oh, okay.
I think we're down by 1. Bases loaded. 2 outs. 3-2 count. Right. So
Oh, he
basically
really knew
3
it.
balls, 2 strikes. So
Right.
basically, the next pitch is going like as long as I don't foul off the next pitch, it's gonna determine whether the game ends or the game goes on, right? And I popped the ball up, like straight up, and I got out. So I went over 5 for the day.
Oof.
And dang, I think more than like angry, I was really sad. um, yeah, yeah. I think after that, like I went home and like cried in the shower for a good 10 minutes.
That's so
Um,
sad.
um,
Over 5, dang.
but yeah, honestly, I think a couple of things that um, I realized from that, I think, were obviously it's important to work hard, but sometimes even when you work hard, like there's some things that might not go your way, you know. So that's one, and I think another thing is like rest is really important, because honestly, I think I kind of overworked myself that weekend. Um, so coming into the game, I was probably fatigued, and
Hmm.
yeah.
Interesting.
Wow. To be honest, I thought you'd be like fifth at bat, you like hit a bomb. Like I thought you were
Yeah,
gonna say
that's
that.
what I thought it was gonna be.
Like
thought you were gonna
Brand's
hit
like
the-
gonna win. Like
Bro, I
walk
thought you were gonna
off.
hit the
Like,
scoreboard or something like that.
yeah. It
Like
just
you broke
shows that
somebody's windshield.
but it just shows that it's not everybody's day at, especially after you do like 3 hours in the cage.
Wait, Tim, I have a little side question.
Mhm.
What were those guys throwing that ball at?
What?
Like, what
It's
was
like 6th,
the?
7th grade, bro.
I don't know, but I'm just curious.
They're
I'm just
probably
curious.
throwing like maybe 60 max. Is
Bro,
it even
yeah.
60 max? Like,
Bro, like I went to a batting cage once, like 60 miles an hour, bro. I'm running, bro. I'm not trying to swing at that, dude. I know. I realized baseball was not the thing for me
it's like
when I
it's
saw
like
that.
not crazy, you know.
For me, I'm just like I was like, I'm out of here, bro.
Maybe it was
So,
a little
I
bit
don't know,
more.
that
I don't know. Maybe between 60. I forgot how hard people threw back then.
6th
Maybe
to 7th grade.
maybe
I, actually,
60 to 70. I have no idea.
I think it's more
Crazy.
55, 60. Yeah.
I don't know, man.
If you're throwing heat, like it was like closer to 70. But yeah.
Okay. All right, Awong, you got one?
Um.
'Cause
Actually,
I have one.
yeah. Sorry, you go. Yeah.
Okay, did you say you were about to say something? I don't mean to cut
No,
you off.
no. I'm still thinking, so that's why I want you. To go.
Okay.
Yeah.
Something. Okay, so Chen, you said something you really hated, but it was necessary.
Mhm.
I think something I hated that was absolutely necessary was my first breakup. So I think
Mm.
that was like so necessary for me because honestly, like I just didn't know how to react. So like I was just going through like all these different phases after that. So like, dude, I think about it in hindsight. I'm like, yeah, you did. And Tim, it's like clearly not me, right? So then, okay, so my second breakup was like, bro, like it was clearly like a way worse situation. I'm not gonna get into this because I'm gonna need like an entire hour to just like rant about it, right? Tim, you know what I'm talking about, right?
Yes, I do.
So then you can't blame me either. So then that was like so much worse, but I was like, all right, I'm out of here, right? I'm like, I'm out this, right? So like when she hit me with like some AIDS, I was like, let's go, boys. Like I was marching out of there, right? But like,
Packing up. You're packing.
I was like, pack up, yo, get the bags. We're hitting the jet. Yo, we're going to Turks and Caicos. We're getting shirts off. We're getting the Lambaritas. You know what I'm saying? But like for my first breakup, it was just like, I was just like, dude, what do I do now? I was like, what do I do? So
Mm.
I went through all these like ups and downs for like no good reason, right? And you know, it didn't really last that long. I think it was necessary. I have no hard feelings against that person, right? But it just like I hated it, of course, but something I don't think I ever told Tim this, but something that was helpful for me to get back into game was when Tim asked me to join church league. So I was like, okay, I gotta play
That's
this. So then it's kind of like I hated it because obviously he wants to get broken up with, right? And I was a little naive at the time. I was like, man, it's gonna last a long time. We're gonna have fun, right? But then it just wasn't meant to be. So then you just have to go through that phase, like, okay, it just is what it is, right?
It
So-
is what it is.
Exactly. So then my teammate offered me to play church league. It was like, okay, this is my outlet. So then for my second breakup, my outlet was just watching cartoons. So I just watched mad cartoons. So like,
He's
like
saying
that, you
cartoons,
just have
but
to
he
find.
really means anime. Tarek Loki.
I did watch
Got
Dragon
Heart.
Ball. Nah, I just like Dragon Ball, dude.
He's
That's
a
why I'm
weeb.
Super Saiyan Rose. Yo, shout out
He's a
Goku
weeb.
Black.
He's a
Know who you
weeb.
are.
Are we gonna show that video of Tark
We'll
Super
think about
Saiyan?
it. We'll think about it.
I've attempted to go Super Saiyan twice. I feel like a lot of people.
Like-
Wait, it's definitely not twice. It's definitely 3 times.
It was twice, or twice recorded.
Yeah,
Yeah,
let me tell
yeah.
you. After watching that, I didn't know what to think.
See, and Wong's answer for something like he hated, but he learned something from is like he watched that video that he hated and he realized I'm not gonna be friends with this guy anymore. So that's what he learned. But anyway, I'm done with my.
Is that the segue to me now? Is that the segue
Yeah,
to me?
Yeah.
I guess so. I think I can't say that I hated it. I just didn't like it at all that much. I disliked being on. Yeah, I disliked being on the swim team when I was younger. Not gonna lie, like there were moments in which I was just like I don't want to do this because like everyone's like hanging out at the pool and like you have to go to a swim team and like practice in the 4 lanes in the middle and just
Oh yeah,
wow.
I remember that.
Yeah, I know exactly I know exactly what you're talking about.
I had to report the swim team, which sucked because all my friends were like on the sides, hanging out, playing soccer in the grass, playing basketball in the court, whatever, beach volleyball, you name it, whatever, right? But I had to report the swim team, and I think, first of all, I thought it was necessary because I had to learn how to swim, right? But I think more than just that, I think it just taught me in which and a thing that I didn't really like at first, and especially the fact that I didn't really have that many friends doing swim team at the time. You know what I mean? Like it was just, 'cause like I said before, everyone was like hanging out on the sides, and then we had to do laps in the middle. I think it just taught me that like I had to adapt, basically, in my environment. And I know I was young, but still, I think I was able to understand my situation and just like learn to enjoy it basically. Because I like towards the end of swim team, I started to like really enjoy it, and I learned like to be part of a team within swim team. It was dope. But yeah, especially like during the beginnings and like the middle part of me being in swim team, I was just very like this is so mundane, and just like I wanted to hang out with my friends at the pool. And you guys know exactly what I'm talking about because they always report everyone on the swim team back to the middle to do stuff.
Please report to swim team.
Yeah,
We're closing off
Bro.
the laps in the middle. Please.
yeah,
I did that
Yeah,
for
but,
a year,
but,
and then
yeah.
I dropped it, and then I was playing
Yeah.
playing with like hanging out with people, like on the side, watching Alex swim, bro.
right, and I suffered.
Alex,
and
Alex, when did you
Yeah.
do it? Like, what years did you do it?
elementary to like beginning middle school had to be something like that. Yeah, but but like I said, it was necessary because I had to learn how to swim, and yeah, it's just like being adaptable to your environment, and also just like learning to like things, and understanding being part of a team. Like once again, like I said before, but yeah, swim team was an interesting time. But it was fun. I mean, I got to do some cool stuff with swim team too, so that was good.
I thought you were gonna say I had to learn how to quit. So I thought you were gonna go to your coach, like kick off your swim cap, like throw it at him. Quit this shit, you buddy. I'm out.
No, but now I have a nasty breaststroke. So
Yeah, Alex beat me with only using his arms.
Swimming?
Yeah, but in
That's
breaststroke,
insane.
He used my legs.
He didn't
And
even
Wait,
use
that's
his
arms?
yeah, the whole point of that stroke is like your legs, like
Yeah,
And I
it's all legs.
arms. But yeah.
Dude, if you
But,
beat him just using your arms, you're gonna just beat me like floating down, bro. Like I can't even move in the water.
But yeah, no, that was tough though. Beginning of swim team, I just I don't want to be here. But yeah, I guess it was necessary. So yeah, Chan, would you like to pass the ball over to someone?
Yeah, I'll pass it to him because he needs some
Hey.
work.
Wait, Alex, I have a question. Is yours serious? Because I feel like mine is super lighthearted.
What is
My
Top.
BYOT.
mine? Is that's pretty lighthearted. Like the thing I have to say for it is very lighthearted. Like it might be a serious topic, but I took it like a lighthearted. Like it's not lighthearted, but it's like it's not what it seems like it's gonna be basically. Why?
Okay, then
What-
let Jim go first because
Tim,
we need
Yeah,
to
Tim, go first.
Okay, fine.
lighten the mood a little bit. That's what happened in the court episode because it was a bunch of serious topics, and I think Grant Hill said
Which one?
funniest teammate for open court.
Oh,
The
okay,
episode.
okay.
So then he was like funniest teammate. So I think this is what we need right now.
Okay, Tim will be
For
Grant
me?
Hill first. Then.
Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead.
I mean,
Anything.
now that I think about it, it's actually not like super lighthearted.
Oh my
Oh
god!
my god!
Man.
Get this kid out of here! Get this kid out of here!
You gotta shoot it, dude. You're open.
Yeah,
Alright,
do it now.
fine.
It's like-
I was gonna just say, what is your most memorable or favorite moment of us four?
Oh,
What, all of us together at the
Yeah,
same
all
time?
of us together.
Ooh.
all of us together.
Bro, I'm pretty sure that's like 3 times ever. Like I can't even think.
Yeah, I can't think of one where all 4 of us were together.
Change your topic to just like one other person,
Fine, one other person.
or like
Wait, so you actually go first with this then, because it seems like you have an answer, and I want to see like if I actually remember that memory. So if you don't mind, like,
yeah. Go ahead.
actually you should start off. Yeah. You're leading.
Honestly, I don't have a
Mm.
specific answer, and I didn't have a specific answer in mind, to be honest. I just came with the topic.
I have one with every person. I think
One
I
with
can do it.
every person?
I can do it pretty quickly.
Okay, you go.
Okay, Alex, you can go.
For Tim, I don't know if this is like the greatest memory for both of us, but I just remember when you got hurt playing goalkeeper. Like that was so vivid in my memory. I just remember being like, "Oh my god!" Like he just took a cleat to the face. Like that's all I remember. And it was raining super hard that day. And I just remember I was just like waiting for him to come back on the team. Like it was just like one of those things where it's like if you're missing a guy on the team, and especially if it's like a guy like Tim, right? Like we're all really good friends, and it's like it's like something like that. It just like brings the morale down. It's like something that you're missing a part of the team. So I was like, that was a memory for me. Probably not the greatest memory, but like definitely a very vivid memory of me just like missing Tim being on the team again and him being out for that time because he had to get stitches and the whole deal, whatever. And then when you came back, you played fullback, and I remember I was really excited because I was like the midfield, like in the center. So like we were both I remember this also vividly. We were talking about how you would be a better field player, and we were always talking about this. And I remember going to the cages with Tim and in T-Fly,
Okay.
and Tim would always try to make a point that he's nice in the field, which is a good memory of mine. So yeah, I think the cages and definitely that memory of Tim being out and then coming back and him playing in the field and being me receiving passes from Tim, things like that. So that's a memory I have of Tim. So I guess it was like sore in the beginning, but like it was nice at the end. So that's with Tim. With Chan and Tarek, you guys couldn't go together. When we played at the courts and we played against those kids from the other C-Town,
Fake C-Town.
fake C-Town, and that was honestly the moment when I was like Chan could play, bro.
If Chance can hang a little bit.
Yeah. So basically, this fake C-Town had the travel basketball team basically come to our courts.
That was
'Cause we had a
travel?
carnival that day. Yeah. And we played. They're gonna go to the carnival, but before they went to the carnival, they went to the court to play basketball. And we played against them. We lost by like 1 point, and then I think Chance said it before, but like some kid threw a shot over his head like a soccer ball, and it just went in. But that was a really fun memory. I just remember being shocked at how Chan was able to keep up with like these humongous kids, and it was just like a good memory.
Thanks.
Yeah, exactly. Ralph, and
I don't think Ralph was there. I think Skanks was the guy.
yeah, and then I don't know. I just think with all of us together, I think us just being in the same. I think middle school stands out like most to me than high school. If I'm being completely honest, right? Because I feel like in middle school we had more chances to be with each other in like the same room or something like that. But in high school we were literally divided by academy, divided by socially what we did with sports and whatever. But I think in middle school we had a chance to like see each other more often and be one as a group. So I think that's something that sticks out, that like stuck out to me like when I'm talking about all of us together. So
All right.
I think
thanks for
I'll
buying
add on to
time.
that.
I'm ready to go.
okay.
All right, Tim, you
Wait,
can
do you
go.
have
You
something
can
to
go.
add on? Do you have something to add on? You go.
I do.
Oh, add on.
Oh,
This might steal your answer, but I was gonna say the bus was also a great time. But that's something I'm adding on to that. But all right, Tim, you can go. That's not my answer. Wait, Tim, go.
Oh, okay.
No, okay. So the one thing that's really memorable with Chan I mean, I've obviously had a lot of memorable moments, but this one just like sticks out like a sore thumb. I'll never forget. It was like the career day, right, at BCA. And you know how
Okay.
like some like people from like whatever like job they do, they come in and speak about what they do, right?
Right.
So,
Yeah, yeah.
It's a career
I
fair.
happened,
Yeah.
I happened to sign up for something that got canceled, right? And so did Chan. So like Chan and I were like just chilling. I'm like, all right, let's look at the list, see which one we should go to, right? And on the list, I was like, oh, this person like works for SNL. I was like, oh, that could be really interesting. And so
I'm scared. I'm scared.
Wait.
Why is he starting to laugh before you? That's okay.
Okay, so
All right,
anyways,
keep going.
so
The
Chen and I
entirety
were
of that career period is just such a meme. Anyway, just keep going.
So Chen and I were like, okay, you know what? This is gonna be really, interesting because Saturday Night Live, like, what can we expect? So we walk in, and this person's talking, and I'm just like, what is this person talking about? And then I realized,
okay.
yo, the entire room is just girls, right? And I'm just like, and then I realized, and then she like,
Makeup artist.
and then yeah, she's like a makeup artist and like a hairstylist, and I was just like, oh crap, I have no interest in this, but here I am with a bunch of girls, and I think it was like one of the theater teachers, and I was just like, yeah, Chan, I'm sorry. Yeah, I just looked at Chan and I was just like, oh man.
My bad, dude.
The reason why I laughed even more is because like this was like one of those like this is one of the language rooms, right?
Yeah,
It's one
in
of those
Spanish
rooms
class.
where like you got like instead of having like 5 rows, like 5 seats and then like 4 rows, you have like 4 seats and then 6 rows behind you, right? And we came in late, so we sat up all the way in the front, like right in front of like the presentation person. So we couldn't even like slack in the back or something like that. Like we actually had to look like we were interested.
You're interested in hairstyle.
And like
so
you know,
bad.
the person like up front, like trying to be like interactive, going like, "Yo, you got any questions? Like, yo, any of y'all interested?" And then like we're just standing there, be like, "Yo, please don't call on me," like kind of thing. And then the last reason why I laughed was because the theater teacher that was there, actually, I had to have a full-on conversation with that theater teacher about that like career fair topic. Because I went to her because she was doing like practice interview.
Perot. It's Perot, right?
I think it was
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah, so I went in and then she remembered my face. And then she was like, "Oh yeah, like oh what are you
Full-fledged
talking about?"
conversation.
And, like like hair stuff, and I was just like, "Yo, I got no idea what the hell this is about." Like,
Bro, Chan, you should have just said, "Look at my hair, dude. You think I know anything about hair?"
oh my gosh, yeah, nah, I couldn't do that. And then she was like, all the makeup stuff, and I was just like, "Yo, mascara, nice." Like, what am I supposed to say about that? And yeah, it was.
That's great, actually.
That's actually so fun.
I think
All right.
yeah. With Tarek, I think this was mentioned on the podcast before, but most memorable to me definitely was when we played each other in the championship game of our church league.
Yeah.
Oh,
Definitely the most
All right, moving on.
With Alex, dang, there's a lot, but I think one thing, I don't know why, this is actually really random of all the memories that I actually have, but I remember, I don't know why I remember this really vividly. Like I remember, okay, so we were playing, I think it was like FIFA 10 on the PS3, and this is when like Alex, like this is because I played a lot, so like I was really good and Alex didn't really play, right? So I was using South Africa, and he was using the World 11, like the best of the best from the past time to now, right?
All time, yeah.
Yeah, basically.
It's all time.
So I remember like I took a shot randomly from like midfield and it went in. And I remember going crazy. I recorded it I recorded the replay on my iPad. And yeah, that's what I remember.
You know what? Speaking of FIFA, too, I don't remember. Like a good memory I had with Jua specifically was Hurricane Sandy, and we play like on your iPad FIFA like all night. I don't know what it was.
Actually,
That was
I
the
remember
funniest thing.
so much.
That was so
I remember
funny.
using India, bro. Team India.
We would freak out. Like every time we score, we'd just be freaking
Yeah,
out.
because we would play with obscure teams, right?
Yeah.
And we're
And-
like, let's just play some like really disgusting. Like, so we'd play as India, which was a 1-star team, against like
Mother
Barcelona,
India.
which is a 5-star team, right? And we'd split the game by half, and oh,
Yeah.
it was
That was a
such
good time.
jokes.
Yeah.
We'd
That was
gas
so
up
good.
all the players, and
I know.
oh man,
It was a good time.
I think for memorable, I think I'll take a little different twist here. I'm going to talk, okay, because you guys know me, and whoever knows me out there listening to this podcast, for most of the people out there, I like to push you as a person. So I like to push your buttons, and I also like to see how far I can take you until I break you, in a sense, right? Until I make you upset. Until
He does
I
that
make
with
you mad.
Chen.
I do that with all you
Only
guys
does
because that's
that
what the topic's about. I made for each one of you guys. I have a memory of making you all really mad at some
Okay,
point in time.
then do it. Go.
So I'll leave Chan for last because that's the funniest one I have. But for A Wong, I remember one time. I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know if you remember this, but this was in Spanish sophomore year. All right, and for whatever reason, I was like really upset or just like tired or something, right? And you were talking to Claudia across the room, right?
Mm.
And you were saying something, and you're just like joking around with her. And I was like, man, shut the f- up, right? And then you were like, excuse me? And I was like, yeah, dude, like just relax. I'm just trying to focus right now, just like, up, right? And then you were like, oh, and then you got mad at me, and deservedly so, right? Because I was just like ragging on you for no reason. And then I remember you were like, shame on you! I can't believe you'd say something like that. And I was like, man, just shut the. I'm like, I don't care. Like, just relax, dude. And then I remember like 2 seconds later, Kalandra was like, yo, work on a group project. Work with the person next to you. And Awong was the person next to me. So we had to work on a project right after that. But it was all cool. It was whatever. I think it was just. I think I just.
Yeah.
Do you remember that?
I don't.
Oh, okay. Well,
I
now
really
you do.
don't. That's my first time hearing that. That's very interesting.
Tim's gonna have to censor out a bunch of that language,
That's
but
okay.
I also cursed earlier, so I have to censor that. For Tim, I remember I made Tim really mad when we were playing fantasy basketball, dude. Cause I finessed some kid. I finessed him. I was like trading Eric Gordon for like Nikola Jokic straight up, right? In fantasy a couple years ago, right? So then by far I would take the lead because my team was just nasty at that point. If I get his first round pick or like my 7th round pick, right? I think Tim, were you the GM of the league or
I think so. It was either me or Shalom. I don't remember.
no? It was Shalom. And then I remember you were there. And then I remember because the way Shalom set it up was everybody has to vote on the trade, right? And I voted yes. And then I think I forgot who the other person was, but he voted yes too. Tim was the only person that voted no, right? And then Tim texted me. He's like, yo, I can't believe you're not taking this league seriously, right? Like, man, the league, you're creating all this imbalance. And he got so mad. I was like, all right, I'll just cancel the trade, dude. And then I remember he just like stopped responding to my texts. And he was just upset about that. Oh, you know why? Because I traded Eric Gordon and some like bench warmer for Nikola Jokic and Bradley Beal. So I would have just like smoked the rest of the league. And it was funny because I finished last in the league because my team got injured. So I had like 5 guys healthy at like one point. So I got last. So, actually, Tim, there's no reason for you to get upset because I sucked that season. So
He
I don't know if
texted me personally. I cannot believe you would create such imbalance to our league.
oh, and this is when I had my Windows phone. So like I just remember seeing like the red text. I was like, really, dude? Like, are you serious? Tim, do you remember that?
I feel like there's been an incident like that. I don't remember exactly, but I feel like there's been an incident. I'm about to go to
Wait, time out. Wait, Tariq, you didn't push my buttons. That's just you being like, like bursts of anger. I feel like you were testing me. You were just like angry for no reason. Like,
That's true. I guess that's true. But like, I guess it's like, because if I don't know, if I was like more of a peaceful person, you'd give me more slack, right? You'd probably cut me more slack or something, right? So
I just think it was uncalled for. Clearly, you said it yourself. It was just so
it
uncalled
was
for.
uncomfortable, but I feel like you would just cut me more slack if I was more
Yeah.
docile, like Chan or
I
something,
guess, I
right?
guess so. Yeah, I guess
So-
so.
Okay, but for Chan, my story with Chan, first of all, I've insulted Chan more times than you can count. It's a limit. It's approaching infinity at this point. But I remember this one time. Chan, do you remember that time you slapped my guy Cade's binder on the floor?
Yeah, I knew this story was gonna come up. Yeah.
What?
This was like Chan was having like a really bad week. I think he punched a hole in the wall or something like that. 'cause
No, that
his
was
sister-
different. That was different.
That was the same week.
That was
That
different.
was
That was
the same
different.
week. So I remember he
It wasn't
got
the
like
same
a,
week. It was.
it was the same.
Nah.
Okay, all right. So, but
Keep going.
he was getting upset at his sister, whatever, right? So he was pissed. So then, I come in and I up the ante more than usual, and I'm hitting him with the G-Man Mexican Chan jokes. You know what I'm saying? I'm hitting him with all the rhymes. I think even Mr. G at this point, because this was in 7th grade, Algebra 2.
Mr.
G was hitting him, Mr. G was hitting him with the silly Chan tricks for kids, right? And everyone is just dogging on him, right? I remember we were just like chilling at like some point, and we're like supposed to do like work on some problem he put up on the board, right? I don't remember what I said to Chan, but I think I said something along the lines of G-Man, and Chan just got, oh God, and he just like slaps Cade's binder on the floor because Cade's the other person at the table. He just like slaps it. The binder hits the floor, and Cade's just like, dude, what'd you do that for, right? And then Chan got so upset, he just like ran to the bathroom, bro. And I was like, maybe I pushed him a little too far. And ever since then, I don't think Chan has ever retaliated against me. So
Good for
also
you,
shout out,
Yeah.
shout out Cade.
Shout out, Cayman. All right. Well, is it my turn? Right.
No,
I think
wait. I don't think I shared. Did
Oh,
I share?
Chin. I'm so sorry. Please go
Yeah,
ahead.
I keep thinking about it.
Oh yeah, Chin. You didn't go.
You said with Tim getting injured and everything. So,
Okay.
so
Yeah,
Okay, yeah, Chan.
but my story for each individual person, memorable. I think for Tim, it definitely has to be that one I talked about the pet peeve one with. I just remember vividly, like it was
Him singing?
yeah, him singing in Korean. Bro,
Wow,
like,
that one really sticks out to you, huh?
Dang,
Like at least
bro,
Dude, I
Chin's been
scarred
talking
Chan,
about-
bro.
bro, like
I scarred
Okay,
Chan.
okay, if
it's because
y'all are listening, you can check out the pet peeve episode. All right, Chan, let's move.
it's because I really liked the song at the time, and it just nah, that was just
Wow,
memorable.
Tim, you killed the song for him. You literally killed the song.
Oh
Anyways,
yeah, I
Chin,
still like the songs, but so it's okay.
Chin,
I
keep going.
I think for Alex, it definitely had to be like that like basketball game, like for sure.
Oh yeah. Yeah, that was a
because
lot.
I feel like I didn't really get to hang out with Alex that much during middle school because of like friend group differences and stuff like that. But yeah, like that was probably like one of the biggest moments that I like shared with you, and definitely that was really good. For Tarek, it definitely had to be-
But Tarek.
man, for Tarek, out of all of his like very like big things that he did, it definitely has to be like that moment where we were like all in like the giraffe exhibit, like during the Washington D.C. trip. It definitely has to be that.
Also,
Yeah, when we all just held hands in a circle. It definitely had to be that moment because it was like, I mean, first of all, like you imagine just like 6th, 8th graders just right in front of the giraffe exhibit. There's like bamboos to my back, and in front of me is just like some store, and some kids just trying to buy their like souvenir giraffe, and there's 6 guys just holding hands in a circle in a moment of silence. Like,
bro, okay, I gotta give some
That is
context to this
absurd. That is absurd.
because this
No,
is
you don't give context. Just leave it at that.
okay. Well, I'll give context after the show.
Uh,
it'll be like a cutout at the end for time's sake. But yeah, it marked. If I have to like think about it, that definitely marked like the beginning of like Tarek's like
Obscurities.
big. I don't want to say like practical
Memery.
jokes, but like
Just
his
AIDS.
like yeah, that's exactly what I want to say. Like it marked the beginning of his AIDS career. Like
How,
in
how
to
did
you,
the,
specifically.
dude, how did the tricks, silly Chan tricks for kids, how did the 20Q, how did the G-Man things not all build up? And how is this the first thing that's AIDS?
it's because like those are just annoying, right? It just made me mad, and then I snapped, and that's when Kate's like binder thing happened. But everything afterwards was just like it was like okay, like it was like acceptable, It was just AIDS instead of making me angry.
okay.
That marked like the transition and like the
Big moment in your life.
yes, very big
Hold on.
moment in my milestone in my friendship with Tarek.
But before we move on to the last thing, so Chan, when I call you fat, it doesn't make you mad.
No, it's just like yeah, it's just
Whatever.
that, like,
Chan, I mean, Tarek, why are you rubbing your
Why'd you?
What'd you say?
Why are you rubbing your hands like that?
Hand sanitizer, dude.
All right, last topic. Here we go, Alex.
All right,
Take it
mine.
away.
Mine's like, mine could be like pretty serious, but like I took it very lightheartedly, as in like it's not something that I would say in like a, it's like I think it's like it would add like some interesting content. I think for me, my thing was about risks in general. So like I want to ask like, in your most recent memory, what's like a risk that you've taken? It doesn't have to be big at all.
In my most
Okay.
recent memory, I don't know why. Okay, never
But
mind.
it doesn't have to be big at all. I personally didn't think it was a big risk. But for me personally, I told this before. We're all in quarantine, right? So yeah. So during like day 50, I had a bunch of friends back at my school, like basically just telling me like, yo, just get on a dating app. Just do it. And I thought I'd never do it until I actually did it. And it was like I remember it was like during the middle of quarantine, like compared to now, like relative to now. And I got it.
I feel like he's
and,
just endorsing himself to the girls.
Endorsing? No. If anything, this should not be endorsing. No. But I got the big three. I got Tinder, Bumble, Hinge. I don't use Tinder. I did meet a lot of people from BCA on from these dating apps. It was like kind of weird. But
You care to name
Yeah.
drop any of them?
nah, I'm not gonna do that. But but I don't know. There's just something about like online dating that's so like
But
I don't
you
know. No, it's just like
Love and enjoy.
it's just
You
very
won't have-
unique.
It's okay to admit.
It's just
it.
like it's nothing that I ever experienced before, which is why I said it was like a risk, but like not really.
Government. The reason, if you're listening, the reason why it's a risk is because A Wong leaves his house frequently to go see his Tinder dates, if you know what I'm saying, at their place. So
Okay, wrong.
he's breaking that social distancing. Trust me, he's breaking that social distancing. If you know what I'm saying.
But I just but yeah.
Oh my God. Okay, stop.
Oh my god. Okay,
I
you need
gotta
to
censor your
stop.
video, bro.
I don't just cut him out. But yeah, I've recently stopped using it. So it's just like
Yeah, he's recently stopped using it. All right, he doesn't need it anymore. That's why.
Since he started recording the podcast, he hasn't used it because he stopped using it recently. After the podcast ends, yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, now we back.
Like crazy, dude.
no, it's not like that. But yeah, I don't know. It's like one of those things that I never thought I'd do before, but like here I am. So I had some interesting things from that, but for sure, yeah, interesting moments came out of that, and yeah, I don't know if you guys have anything to say to that, because I don't know, like it's just like so like I don't know.
I do. I mean, about you or just about like us?
In general, just in general.
Okay, because I'm gonna keep thinking, but I have a lot of NSFW risks that come to mind right now. So I'm just not, for all the kids listening, I'm not gonna say it. So I'm gonna try to think of something else at the moment.
Okay,
Somebody
that's
else.
totally fine. That's
Chan, do you
totally
have
fine.
anything?
I feel like okay, so the most recent memory.
Or just any
Uh,
memory, honestly.
of
Any-
taking a
any-
risk? I'll go with the most recent one, and then I'll go with the one that was like more like quarantine, like kind of
Oh,
thing.
yeah.
But the most recent one is I was playing Catan, if you guys know the game, with with my boy
Okay.
Brian Parker, right? And I had the option. Yeah, so I had the option of either if you guys know what the game is, like going for
Are you
development.
kidding me right now? You're actually
This is your biggest risk. This game.
Bro, I'm telling you,
you're kidding me.
right?
Oh,
Cause Brian was at 9 points and I was on 9 points and he was
I don't
gonna
know
win
what
that.
that means, dude. Chen, okay, do your other thing. dude.
Hey,
do the other one.
oh my god! Let me explain the game, but no, you just decided. I could describe the situation perfectly well, but you just decided.
We're low
The
on
funny
time.
thing is,
We're low
even
on
if he went on, I could probably censor it out.
Oh my goodness! Yeah. The biggest risk I took was saying that story on the podcast. Yeah, that's definitely what it was. Anyway, yeah, biggest risk I took was doing a handstand, but on a ledge because I didn't have enough like space or like anything.
Yeah, you're trying to die? Oh wow.
Yeah. So like
Interesting.
the only thing I had access to was like a parking lot, and like you don't want to do it on a parking lot because like you have like asphalt everywhere, right? So I did it on a ledge, and it worked. I held it for like a good like 5 to 6 seconds, and then I don't know what happened after. So I was like,
Wait,
on the
shit.
ground after.
I have two things about that. First of all, why were you doing a handstand? And second of all, you can't do a handstand.
Actually,
Wait,
Chan
I
Chan
can't
is
do a
actually not.
handstand.
Wait. Actually, I think I recorded it honestly. So if you guys want to see it later, I think I could show
Here's this
you.
video.
Drop the video.
Chan, why were you doing a handstand?
Because I've been practicing for the entire quarantine, like season. Like I started
Wait.
when quarantine first happened.
Wait,
Yeah.
I just thought of like the most perfect, like all four of us memory. When Chan was rapping in lower calf and we all got to witness that.
Yeah, I'm about to
I
drop
played
that thing again right now.
I played that high power.
No,
I'm so sorry. That was just so out of the blue. But like I just remember all of us sitting in lower calf, just like
that was such a hard beat as well.
Wait,
That was
okay,
so
first of
good.
all, that's Chan's biggest risk, rapping in lower calf in front of all this people.
That is definitely not my biggest risk in the game.
bro, I just remember all of us were I was just playing the high power instrumental because I just really like it in the background. And then I remember Tim was like, oh, this is a really nice instrumental. And then Chan was like, I think Tariq was hyping up Chan. And
That
but
is
Tariq
not
knew
the
exactly what he was doing with
instrumental
Chan. He was like, I want to make him
whatsoever.
rap. Like
Torque was manipulating Chan.
Tariq the manipulations.
Bro.
Like,
No, the thing is, I planted the seed early with Chan in terms of rapping because I told him like before, I was like, you can't rap, dude. Like 3 years ago, before that thing happened, right? And then he was like, yeah, I can.
it's
I was
all,
like, you know, you
all gathered in that one moment in that booth.
Yeah.
Just like all four of us. It's like,
and him rapping in Korean, dude, that was intentional because I was like, you can't rap in English, rap in Korean, and he was like, yeah, I got you, boy.
I
I was
remember
like,
that.
"Alright."
Yeah, I feel like that should
Sorry,
be our
Chan.
intro or outro
Yeah.
song. Not gonna lie.
What's up?
I feel like it should
Should be
be
the
our
outro
intro or outro song.
Bro, I can't do this. Oh my god.
Chan would have been
But
our
yo.
podcast. He would be super confused.
In my defense, that is nowhere near the beat I was expecting. I was expecting something like a little bit like softer, a little bit like calmer.
That'd be
but I just
yeah, but sorry, I just totally interrupted you, but that was just like so
no,
worth
it's
it
all
though.
good.
That was a better risk than a board game, so I think you answered his question for him.
Bro, I was answering it honestly, but okay.
Okay, what about whoever's left?
Yeah, man.
You want
Yeah, sure, I can go. For some reason, when you said risk, I thought of one that's really embarrassing and
Okay.
happened in middle school, so we'll save it for some other time. But more recently, what?
Yeah, to keep going. I didn't say it.
Okay, so more recently, so this was BCA field day, and I thought
Okay.
I thought it was pretty risky at the time, honestly. So basically, my senior year for field day, I dipped, right? But okay, so the full story is like, okay, so I was like, how should I tell the teachers, or like, what should I tell the teachers to get to my car, right? Because that's the end goal. Once I get to my car, I'm out ski, right?
Yeah.
So I walked through the Boston Market side. I
Yeah.
asked the teachers, I was like, hey, can I go get something from my car real quick? I just want to like get my water bottle, right? And they're like, go down to the parking lot by the gate and ask the teacher there. And I was like, okay. So I went all the way back down. I asked it. There's just a teacher just sitting there, right? And it's locked. And I was like, hey, can I get something from my car real quick? And this person was like, no. And I was like, okay, interesting. So anyways, I was like, okay, I'm gonna dip, right? So I decided to walk halfway in between the bottom of the parking lot and Boston Market. There's a fence. It was pretty tall. I think it was like, yeah,
You hopped that fence?
it was a decently tall fence, and I hopped it. And then yeah, I kind of just like ran to my car and left,
Wow.
Wow.
which is pretty
Wow.
crazy.
Wow.
Because
Wait.
that was the year that blue team won. After getting like fourth every year, that was the year we won. So sad. I missed it. But anyways, yeah.
Nice.
Actually, I
Tariq.
okay.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I have a funny thing about that because while you were hopping fences, I just walked out the front door, like because I wanted to leave because I wanted to go get food with my friend, right, from church.
Right.
So what I did was I actually just like I tried walking through the math wing, and then one of the teachers was there with like a beach chair reading a book and tanning. So I just kind of yeeted back in, and I was like, open the door, and I was like, oh shoot, and I just walked back in, right?
Wow.
She had
Patrol.
headphones in. Yeah, she had headphones in, so like she didn't notice. But I was like, oh shoot, I just U-turned real quick. So I looked over and I was like, the only place without a teacher is the main entrance. So I walked out the main entrance. I changed my shirt out of my field day shirt, and then I walked out the front door, and nobody said anything. So you could do that or hop fences. Yeah.
All right,
Anyway,
T-Rex,
you go.
what you got for us?
Okay, so the thing is, like, I have so many NSFW risks that I'm just not gonna talk about them because I don't think any of you guys really want to hear that.
You made that clear. No, you made that clear. Yeah.
So I thought of like 6 off the top of my head, just like NSFW risks. So I'll go with the PG one. So, actually, oh no, it's PG. Okay. So there's this building on my campus in college, right? And there's a bowling alley in the bottom that's not used. It's just abandoned, right? But in that building, that's like the reason why people go there, right? But on the roof, the door handle is like pretty like easy to break into, right? So you can like actually sneak onto the roof, right? So one of my friends, he used like his credit card, or not credit card, like some sort of card, right? Gift card, and he like broke onto the roof, right? And then like that's all we do, like when we have friends over, we would just sneak onto the roof in the middle of the night, right? But I always go with him because I can't actually like break onto the roof or anything, right? And I'm always scared that like the door's gonna close and we're gonna get stuck outside or something like that, right? So something I did that I think the riskiest thing I did recently that's not NSFW is I was with a girl at the time, right? And we were chilling, and I was like, "Hey, you know where we could go? The roof." And she's like, "Yo, we can get to the roof." And I was like, "I can get you to the roof." You know what I'm saying? So then, so
That's a Tarek. That's a Tarek.
I hope you failed, my guy.
so we get to the door, and first of all, this building is like impossible to navigate, right? We get to the top, right? And I'm like, all right, if this thing is not open, I'm gonna look like the biggest clown in the game, right? So I look at this thing. It's closed, right? Because usually like the lock stop like holds it in place, right? So hey, this not hard, you know what I'm saying? I was like, okay. So I like jiggle the door handle. It's open, right? And I'm like, okay, all right, I feel hot right now, right? But the thing is, like, I don't know from the outside, you can still lock, like you can't actually turn the door handle. So I'm like, how am I supposed to prop this door open, right? So I went downstairs to like one of the vending machines and bought like a bottle of water, and just stuck the bottle of water in the door so that nobody would get through, right? So then me and this girl were just sitting on the roof for like a good hour. But I was like shitting myself the entire time because I always think that door is gonna close. So I think that's like the biggest
Dang,
risk.
Tarek really risked it all for the girl.
And she was like talking. She's like, I'm like, is this door gonna close? Like, what if I'm stuck up here? I don't really want to be stuck up here with her, but no,
yeah.
I think it's risk.
Funny. All right. Well, I think that's everybody's topic that we went through, / the questions we had for each other and the stories that we had for each other. But yeah, I think that wraps things up. So thank you for watching episode 12 of 3.5 Asian Men. Yeah, signing off. Thank you guys for watching / listening.
Maybe the Super Saiyan video is gonna come here depending on what Tim says. So
yeah, true. So we'll see.
Yeah.
All right. Bye.